for you. So leave me waiting on you. What's in those streets for you? So leave me waiting on you. What's in those streets for you? So leave me waiting on you. What's in those streets for you? So leave me waiting on you.
We be offing that, we be balling that, we be whipping that, we be mobbing that, we be trapping like hustlers to life, gotta get it like I'ma die tonight.
What's in those streets for you? So leave me waiting on you. What's in those streets for you? So leave me waiting on you.
What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this, man. Like, bro, when you pay attention to what's going on, right? And you seeing the change that battle rap is taking now, how people are flocking everywhere, thirsty to try to find the next big thing to happen and to come up. And a lot of people trying to sever and mend and make back relationships that went wrong. I'm going to keep it 100. And this is what I'm hearing from reliable sources. Easy in URL situation, that ain't finna help him in a long time. See, it wasn't so much that he decided to really leave, but it was when he publicly exposed the URL contracts. So imagine this, all the battle rappers that's on those URL contracts, them 5, 6, 7 year URL contract deals. If you notice, when Easy went on that Queen's flip and he began to break down the contract and show how he got his lawyers involved, and his lawyers went through the contracts and found all those loopholes in the contracts to show that they wasn't legally binding in the United States courts of law, that exposed URL and them real bad. And why they couldn't take actions against Remy, and why she dared them to take action, even when they sent her a cease and desist, even when they sent her a copy of the contract. When Easy was saying his lawyers, we know his lawyers was really her lawyers. We know that now, because remember, she his manager. So she the one with the brains. She run and control everything now. So when her lawyers saw that contract, it was a joke, and told her, don't worry about nothing they say, none of their threats or none of that. This contract cannot stand in the United States courts of law with no financial guarantees to actually protect the other parties involved. See, the URL contracts only protects them. It don't protect the artists. So there's not even a fair exchange in the contracts. That's one thing that the lawyers found out and peeped. That's the thing that made the URL and them so mad at Easy, when he publicly exposed that, even to the point of being the representative of leaving as a result of that, which inspired and gave hope and created doubt and encouragement to others to want to do it also. That we now starting to see people starting to leave. Ryder, Mike P, other people talking about leaving. See, this situation was different than the Daylight situation with ARP, or why the URL and them actually followed through on ARP, because Daylight contract was different than Easy Nims and all them other PGs and guys them, because Daylight contract came with money. It came with money. Easy contract them didn't come with money, even though Easy owed money behind the scenes from them paying him under the table. They wasn't paying him according to the paperwork. They were paying him under the table on some things. He owed them money. Why he's saying he don't owe them money? He owed them money. Now, I don't know if he paid it off or not, but it wasn't through the contracts. It was just under the table. Now, what made that situation different with the ARP situation, again, Daylight contract came with money. So they could follow through on ARP when they sent him Daylight contract and when they sent him the cease and desist letter, and ARP still chose to do it. So URL and them filed the lawsuit because they know that they have a good case because they did legit business with Daylight. So when Easy exposed his contract and spoke on behalf of the other people contracts, then was encouraging other people to leave, that's when URL and them decided not to ever do business with him again. Because see, we know the URL and them didn't have fallouts with many people. They didn't have fallouts with many people. Many battle rappers and them get into it, but they patch things up. They get into it with these guys, then they patch the things up with them. Then after they patch it up with them, all is forgiven. They back on the league. They back getting booked again. But the URL ain't trying to patch this up with Easy. They don't want nothing to do with him, and he know that. That's why he trying so hard to push the trenches thing, because he need to make up for the losses that he can no longer get on the URL. He need to make up for that. And mind you, you know, hey, look, I commend the brother on doing what he can do, the best he can do with what's out there. And I commend, look, and I commend him on using his brand, his name, to help build up the trenches. Even though I think he doing things a little foul because he get ahead of himself when you start competing against Steers and them, rather than networking with them brothers. You need all the help you can get. And brothers got that bad when they just start, when they get things and then let it go to their head, rather than understanding the power of networking. It's enough money out here for everybody. And if you connect with the right people who got a nice head on their shoulder, you could go a long way. But these brothers, they get a little bit, then they let it go to their head, then they think they better than everybody else, then they be trying to cause strife and contention and division. It's not good to do. But I like the fact that he stepping out on his own. Well, he got help and support and back up with Remy. But I just like the fact that he at least doing something on his own. Hell, if John and Arsenal and them did it, why not him? You know, a lot of battle rappers should have thought about that to some degree. But when I'm looking at the situation, I'm already seeing, man. And that's why the URL was so against him. And they were trying to do everything in their power to make sure he don't become successful. We saw that they paid rappers behind the scene to not battle on his card. Try to actually get them to pull out on the day of his card so he could look bad in front of the battle rap community and owe the people money. How they took away his wins and gave him his correct losses that they really knew he lost in, but actually forced him wins just because they were branded and marketing him to put him in a position to actually generate a lot of revenue for them. So we see how, you know, they made sure they tarnished his record so he wouldn't be able to use it to brand himself apart from they power being behind him. Because you know he loved that undefeated record. That's why he would say it all the time. I'm undefeated. I never lost. I never lost. So they wasn't going. It was okay for him to say that while on the URL and while they be doing their trailers and promotions and cards. They use that to sell it, like, you know, undefeated, ain't lost, this and that on the app, you know, and selling the app with his undefeated record on there, which was crazy because he lost the judge battle in one of their tournaments. However, they refused to let him use that as a marketing tool and him being on his own. So they took that away from him. Crazy thing about all this is, as much as they were trying hard to have their hands involved, to tear him down, to make sure he wasn't successful, all they had to do was be patient. If they were just patient, it would have saved them a lot of time, a lot of energy, because he ended up doing it to himself anyway. He ended up doing it to himself, and they didn't even have to do nothing. That's one thing they can say. Even though we were trying to bring him down, we didn't have nothing to do with what went on with him that actually hurt his stock now, because it do hurt his stock a lot. And one thing Easy know, like so many other battle rappers know that's not on the URL, who believe that they hot and they on fire and that, you know, they the next best thing. You know what they all know? It's only so far they can go without the URL. They can't even achieve major status of superstardom without the URL. Not only the URL name and brand behind them, but the caliber rappers that's needed that actually catapult these rappers into being great. Without the names, you can't become great. You can't become a battle rap superstar without the names. You need the marquee names to compete against, to make classics with, to get wins off, to raise your stock. That's what made Easy fire. Having them major names, going up against the Shines, going up against the Chess, going up against the Verbs, going up against the T-Rexes. Even if you won or lost, you need those names to be great in those battles to make your name relevant to shine next to theirs. And without that, that's what hurt them. And that's why the URL is so powerful. You need those names. I got to run this back on Danny Myers. I remember when Danny Myers signed with the URL. And Danny Myers made it known. Like, he said, the only reason why I'm signing with the URL is because of my career. I done so much outside. I need to challenge myself to compete against the best battle rappers. And all the best battle rappers are on the URL. That is the NBA of battle rap. Outside the URL, it's considered the blacktop, the gym room. So as a battle rapper, him being great and priding himself on being fire, he knew he can't even honestly say that without being in continuous competition with the big names and faces of battle rap. So he signed a 2-year deal as a result of that, with the promise of battling Tay-Rock at the end of that career at the end of that contract as a reward. That's how he ended up getting Tay-Rock. But when Easy exposed them contracts, that was it. The URL, that was it. That was it for them. No more. So that's the deal breaker for him. That's why he said he was worried about his career. He's worried about his career. He's worried about his career because he knew, and he hearing, just like I know it from my reliable sources, he know it too, that they done with him. They don't want nothing to do with him. Let me tell you something, man. it got so bad. Let me just show you how bad it got for him. And I'm just going to leave this like this. This is some real stuff. It got so bad for how much they don't want to have nothing to do with him no more, that it became almost like an obsession. What I mean by that, they didn't want to deal with him no more so bad to the point to just add insult to injury. They started banging his girl.
Bustin' no streets for you, so leave me waiting on you. Bustin' no streets for you, so leave me